Welcome to the Nightcap. It's your girl Cindy Burbano in for Carolina Sanchez tonight, and I hope you're ready because we got an amazing show ahead. Our first guest is a true visionary. He's a Grammy-nominated music producer and a film director whose work has been seen all over the world. Isaac Yowman is in the house tonight. Then we're talking with an inspiring interracial couple about love, identity, and expectations. But first, we're heading over to the bar with my friend Malachi from Taste Kitchen and Bar. Welcome to the Nightcap.
Thank you.
Okay, what do you have for us tonight? I know this is very fallish.
Definitely a nice warm old fashioned. This one's gonna be called Nearest and Dearest.
Okay.
Banana liqueur. There's some banana backwood syrup that we make in-house, and Uncle Nearest brown whiskey to spice it up a little bit.
I love it. You're gonna have to let us know how to make it later on in the show. And you guys at home, grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's get into it.
Yeah, what's up for a nightcap? Chill, you know, kick back.
There are a lot of factors I had to consider when deciding if I should man this mission or not.
There's a fire.
This is Houston, contact with a test 1.
There's a fire burning in my heart.
I want to do what's best for this nation.
This will be an historic mission, Brad.
And also, my family.
Tell me you remember.
I need my husband here, not in the middle of space.
How could you be so damn selfish?
You will never understand.
It's not every day we get to send a man like you to the moon.
Son, but I tell you the truth. This is not just a mission.
What's really going on?
Welcome back to the Nightcap. It's your girl Cindy Burbano, and I'm here with film director Isaac Yowman. We saw a glimpse of Sincerely Brad, the short film that is breaking stereotypes, that is creating a huge buzz. Welcome to the Nightcap.
Thank you for having me.
So my friend let me know that you go by Chill. Why is that?
That's a long name, long history, but you know we're trying to rebrand.
Ah, okay.
Nah, but I mean I'm still Chills. All my friends that know me, but funny enough, that name actually came from back in the day when you didn't have enough money to get a fade. You know, they would call it a chili bowl because it didn't have the fade, so it just looked like your mom maybe put a chili bowl on top of your head and just cut around.
Right, little bowl.
Yeah, so it went from chili bowl to then we started getting enough for me to be able to at least go to the barber college and make it a little fade. Then it just went to Chill.
That's right.
Here we go, years and years later. So.
Well, before we talk about the film, we want to get to know a little bit more about you. You're born and raised here in Houston.
Yep.
How did that all begin with going into the music industry and then the film?
Yeah, so I definitely was a H-Town kid growing up, you know, all around the city really. I went to Foster Elementary and right off of Yellowstone and grew up in that area. And then my mom moved us to Missouri City, just wanting a better space for education and just, you know, having a more diverse, you know, group of folks. And yeah, I grew up in Mo City, Missouri City. People call it Mo City though. And yeah, just always had a love for music. Started off in doing music, producing and writing and engineering. And then I went off to college, Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
So I stayed in Florida, was a Florida boy for a few years. And so, you know, got a chance to just really, I found myself in Florida really growing and having a love for diversity in general. Because, you know, when I went to school, it was the first time, it was almost like a culture shock, like my first time seeing so many different races and people.
Especially in Houston, you got to remember this is such a melting pot. I mean, the whole city is really made from immigrants and all sorts of cultures, Latinos, Asians, African Americans, you name it. And you were exposed to all that.
Yeah, I was exposed to all of that early. I went to Missouri City Middle School. It was right off of 5th Street. A lot of my close friends and homies was, you know, Latino. But when I went to Florida, I saw, you know, beyond just Mexicans, I saw Colombians, I saw Puerto Ricans, Cubans, and then I had just like, I had friends from Trinidad and the islands, and I was like, yo, this is, my first time even knowing what a Haitian was, you know, was like really in college.
Did that influence your music path? Because I know that you've worked with, I mean, we're talking like the Beyoncé's, Queen Bee. I mean, she is the queen of H-Town, right? But I mean, you've worked with some tremendous people, Travis Scott. Just tell us how that came about.
Yeah, I mean, I started in the music industry, went to school for music, got my degree in recording engineering, then I furthered my education and got a bachelor's degree in entertainment business. So I always, you know, had a love for the entertainment industry, and yeah, just started building music and with people in Florida, and yeah, it did definitely impact the way that I moved, because like I started hearing different things, being around different people. And I was like, yo, this is kind of cool. Like now I'm listening to Amy Winehouse and Chrisette Michele and just like different, because when I was in Houston, I was really just exposed to hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
And so when I went off to college, it really, you know, expanded my horizon of like things that I was like, oh, okay, this is cool, and let me maybe integrate this into my music, you know what I mean? And so, if you know anything about Orlando, man, Cubans be cutting up down there, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, just seeing how different, because you used to, you know, when you from the South, you used to only hearing guitar, funky and soul, but then you start hearing that salsa and
the bachatas and the reggaetons and you name it. I mean, and that's what led from music into what you're doing now in film.
Yes,
but I really want to talk about that great short film, Sincerely Brad. That is just something that I feel everybody should talk about, the diversity, the interracial relationships, especially if you're here in Houston. You won't want to miss it. That and much more coming up next. Welcome back to the Nightcap. It's your girl, Cindy Burbano, and I'm here with this amazing film director, Mr. Isaac's in the house, and we were talking about transitioning from music into film, and we want to talk about that short film, Sincerely Brad, in a minute. How did that come about?
Yeah, so transitioning from music to film, a lot of people know me as Chill in the music industry, and then I transitioned, my natural transition was music videos.
Yeah.
I did that for so many years, you know, from Fetty Wap to Kirk Banks to Akon to Runtown to doing music videos internationally all the way in Nigeria.
Well, tell me the truth. Was there a moment when you're there and you're going like, oh my God, how did this happen? I always feel like there's that aha moment.
Yeah, when I was, I think I did my first music video in Nigeria, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. It's like 200 people here.
Wow.
I got a crazy set. My team is like producing stuff internationally. It was like a big deal. And I was like, yo, I'm doing this. It's crazy. So, and and obviously my background was music. So it was the easy transition, you know, between music and film. And so then after that, I just the whole time though, you know, I always had a love for storytelling because I'm a writer. And so I knew I wanted to get into narrative storytelling on film and TV. And so that's kind of, you know, fast forward 15 years later, you know, here we are.
So this latest project, I know that the screenings have been sold out in various cities, including Houston. Everybody wants to watch it. What inspired you to tell this story between an interracial couple?
Like I said, being in Houston and growing up in Houston, I think we're like the most developed city that's close to the border. So if you're from Houston, it's not like weird that you see a Latino with a guy or vice versa, right? We grow up, you know, especially like Southwest A-League, Texas, like it's a whole melting pot. Like you literally can see everybody from all nationalities and the race of the world, like in Houston, which I think a lot of cities don't have the opportunity to have. And so for me, it was like being in Texas, moving to Florida. Then when I left Florida, I went to New York, which is like a huge, you know, Puerto Rican and all of the Spanish mommies. And you know,
so you in itself have experienced that. You've had your different girlfriends or, you know, your past, and then you kind of maybe grabbed from that and wanted to tell the story. Like, what's the message behind this? For the
it was a mix between all, you know, I'm engaged now, but I definitely had my, you know, dealings, and I saw like, man, we are so the same in so many elements, but then it's so nuanced where there are dynamics where we are different. And like exploring that, how does that look? How does that feel? How do you show up in a world where you want to be able to be a strong black man, but then also too like have to, you know, also be respectful of your partners.
And almost like prove yourself. I feel like there's still that stereotype, and it's crazy that nowadays, with the amount of people that are coming in and the mixes, and everybody's just kind of like, I feel like in different cultures, that people still have a stereotype. People still judge, you know, an African American man with maybe a Latina, like you say in your film.
Yeah, and I had so many friends that was, you know, in that very scenario, you know what I mean, that I grew up with. So for me, it wasn't, I guess, like as much of a taboo subject, but I noticed as I moved around, it was a thing. And I'm like, this is regular to me, you know what I mean? And so I was like, I didn't see that show up on screen as much. Like, I can't name you 3 or 5 movies where I see the Latino and black and brown, that combination, right? And so like, I was like, I need to tell a story that's true to the essence of where I'm from. And, you know, I grew up going to the Los Magnificos car show. You know what I mean? Like, eating at the taqueria, the taco, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you go to Florida and you're like, those aren't tacos, people. Those aren't tacos, right? Because we know.
That Tex-Mex is the real thing.
That's right. But it took you a few years to write this. You were telling me behind the scenes that you started in 2021, like right out of, like, with COVID, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. It definitely was a pandemic baby. You know, start building it and just seeing like what was happening in the world at that time. And I just tell people, like, this film is just as relevant today as it was when I started ideating it, because I mean, we're still dealing with crisis at the border, ICE and deportation, and, you know, just the challenges of like how we find self-identity within ourselves in this country. So it's like, I think it's so many conversations within this one film, and I'm excited for people to see it and explore those. And my thing is like, I want people to be able to leave and evoke a conversation that can, you know, surpass the film. So that's the goal.
How do we watch it? How do we follow you? Tell everybody at home so we could get on board with this film, Sincerely Brad.
Yeah, you can check out the trailer on our website, iovisuals.com. Right now, we just went to New York at capacity, LA at capacity twice, and then we just sold out the historical River Oaks Theater here in H-Town. So
congratulations.
Thank you. Got a lot of hometown love, and so now we're about to enter the film festival circuit and try to get this film adapted into a feature film, because a lot of people are loving it. And I said this is my 11th short film, so I wanted to make sure that this was a great piece to transition me into doing a feature film. So I'm claiming in advance this will be my first long-form feature film.
Absolutely, amen to that, and we wish you all the best of luck. Isaac, it was wonderful to have you here, but then coming up in the next segment, we're going to be talking with an interracial couple. They're going to spill the tea, let us know what their experience has been. That's up next. Welcome back to the Nightcap. It's your girl, Cindy Burbano, and I got a group of fabulous guests tonight. Miss Jessica Brody's in the house. Our friend Brody Fresh is in the house, and of course, our film director and friend, Isaac Yowman. We're talking interracial relationships. Tell me how this started. How long have y'all been together?
So it happened by accident, actually. Funny story. This was back when Instagram was kind of still in the early stages, and I came across his music, listened to a few songs, and really liked the vibe, liked what he was talking about. And so I posted one of his songs on my story and tagged him, just, you know, show some credit and
some support.
Put it out, and then he just kind of slid in the DM and never left.
Kick the little soccer ball.
I love that. And your background is Puerto Rican. You were telling me you're from Connecticut. Y'all met over there, or how was that?
So he was in New York at the time, and then we kind of exchanged some conversations a little bit through IG. Grabbed my number, called me a few times, and then literally just like showed up on my doorstep.
I love it. Is that the same story we're telling Brody Fresh?
Yep.
We're sticking to it. Yep. I love that. That's a smart man right there. Now, tell me, did you guys, I don't know, maybe confront any sort of animosity or like your friends, your close circle when it comes to interracial relationships? Is that still a thing, or was everybody really accepting?
I'd say they were accepting. I'm from New York, so I think being from New York, it was just kind of something that's expected. I grew up seeing a lot of interracial couples, and it was just as normal, to be honest.
In the beginning, it was kind of one of those things where it was a little awkward for me personally, just because of the language barrier.
So this was the first time that you were dating an African American man. Is that kind of like more the situation?
The serious, on a serious, yes.
Sure.
And you know, it was always one of those things where like it was really important for me that whoever I end up with had a good relationship with my parents, because my parents and I are very close. I was nervous to introduce him at first, but then once they met him and saw how charismatic he was and how like just caring and willing to get to know them and talk to them in Spanish, even though he did know some words but not a lot of words, but he found a way to make it work. And so, you know, that kind of broke the ice for me, but it was a little nerve-wracking at first.
Yeah, of course, but I'm sure there was a little culture shock. I mean, we're talking food, apart from the language, there's a lot of things that we do as Latinos that might be a little shocking to others.
Yeah, I think just being from New York, I don't think there's anything they made that I hadn't had at some prior moment. Like my godmother's full Puerto Rican.
Okay.
So I grew up, you know, around a lot of Spanish people. Probably like some of my first friends ever in life were Spanish. So, you know, I was already eating arroz con dulces and.
Okay, we love you. See that? How could we not accept them in
penne
our culture?
I'm saying before I even, you know, so it kind of was cool. Definitely, like she said, you know, her parents not being able to speak fluent Spanish. I'm not gonna say it made it hard, but it just made it a little different.
Yeah,
I figured out a way to kind of narrate certain things to them, and now it's kind of like I could joke with them. You know what I'm saying, about the words that she messes up. I'm like, you've been here 50 years. How do you not know how to say this?
It's okay.
Years, you know?
It's all right. I love that. But this is a lot about the film, like that you were telling us, Isaac, with Sincerely Brad. It's literally this relationship where you see a couple struggling with different things, but adapting, and love goes a long way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think when you think about relationship or any relationships in general, whether it's romantic or business, it's like learning the art of the pivot, right? Like learning how to make what may not or should not or seems like it shouldn't work. And I think when you're in a serious relationship at any magnitude, that's what that's what it's all about, pivoting and compromising. You know what I mean? So.
And I wanted to talk about a collaboration that you have going on with Adidas Latex. What's that all about?
Yeah. So you know, this film partially funded by Adidas. Cornerstone community, so super excited about that. And Latex is something that we build in. Like I told you, I stayed in Los Angeles, and so obviously it's a huge Latino, Black and Brown collaboration in there too. So it's like, how do we build that conduit from LA to Texas? So Latex, and so yeah, we building out something really cool and just trying to bring Hollywood to Houston and vice versa, and make sure we showcasing people in front of the screen and behind the screen from Texas and back and forth. So yeah.
Oh, Jessica, one last thing before we leave. I wish we had more time, because we could talk hours with you guys, because there's a lot of kinks and stuff that I have in my head that I want to talk about. But what's that message to the people out there that maybe are struggling with interracial relationships?
Probably just having an open mind. I think sometimes it's easy for us to kind of have a tunnel vision on our own culture, our own traditions, how we think, how we view things, and we forget that you're an individual. You have your own traditions, your own values and views on things, and just being willing to be okay with sharing those differences, not losing yourself, but just sharing them.
Absolutely. Thank you all for being with us tonight. But you guys at home, we're heading over to the bar, because it wouldn't be the nightcap without a good cocktail. We're going to learn how to make this with Taste Kitchen and Bar coming up next. Welcome back to the Nightcap, and it's the best part of the show. We're behind the bar with Malachi, and it's time to bag that glass up. From Taste Kitchen and Bar, Malachi, welcome. You gave us a fabulous drink. You had a little whiskey, a little banana. Okay, tell us how to make it.
Okay, so this is we're gonna start with some banana tobacco syrup. That's going to go in and give it a little bit of sweetness, give it that warm that you love about all the fall cocktails.
Yes.
A little bit of Angostura bitters.
So this is the type of cocktails that we can find over there at
definitely.
Taste Kitchen. There's a lot of variety, right?
Absolutely. There's a ton of variety there. We try to keep it that way. This is creme de banana, which is delicious banana liqueur. It's going to give you that kind of that banana bread, just more thoughts of fall and that warm hug that
we all need.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the Uncle Nearest rye whiskey. This is a 100 proof whiskey, so it's got enough to carry through the cocktail and keep the cocktail not too sweet, but just enough
right,
for you.
just right. And it also a little citrusy because I noticed that you had some little bit of I don't know if it was like an orangey.
Oh, for sure.
Thing,
You know,
right?
orange and banana, they work so well together.
Yeah.
So a little bit of orange zest on there. That's also traditional and an old fashioned. So give people a little bit of familiarity with their cocktail. So it's still an old fashioned, but it's giving you some fall elements.
For all the people at home that want to go stop by and see you, where is Taste Kitchen and Bar?
Oh, you can't miss us. We're in the heart of downtown Houston, Texas, right on 420 Main Street. We're open for breakfast, lunch, brunch, and dinner.
I heard y'all have the best brunch.
Oh, it's outstanding. If you haven't had, you got to get down there. It is
okay, so give me a little bit of a sneak peek on the menu. What it is?
So, I mean, we're probably most famous for our jerk lamb chops. You can't go wrong with the jerk lamb chops. We got a ton of different chicken and waffles. Really good comfort food. It is outstanding.
Well, it's time to try this cocktail, and I think my friends need a refill. Salud! Thank you for being with us tonight. We'll see you next time. Cheers. Cheers.